Hello, wonderful. This is Sarah. And have you ever played Connect the Dots? I'm guessing if you have had kids or grandkids or you were a kid, you played a game called Connect the Dots, which is move this little circle, you draw a line to this little circle and draw a line to this little circle. And in, in our adult lives, we forget to connect the dots. And in people's healing strategies or work strategies, like we know that we should be connecting the dots. Like, hey, if I want to eat this pie, I probably need to buy bigger pants, or I'm going to have to buy bigger pants, okay? But we just forget. And when I ask people, what do you want? Often that is a hard question to answer. Okay, but let's say you want confidence. Let's say you want to take back your thinking. Let's say you want to be present in your own life and present with your kids. Let's say you want to exhibit confidence. Let's say you want to be toxic person proof and not have people take advantage of you. Let's say you want to increase your income by $10,000 a month. Let's say you want to expand your business. It doesn't matter what you want. You've got to reverse engineer your decisions to make sure what you want is connecting the dots with the action you were taking today. And I see a lot of people, one, not able to answer what they want. Let me be very, very, and I have been this person, so I don't want you to feel bad. But let me be very, very clear to say if you have no clue what you want, you will never get what you want. People say, well, I want to be happy. Okay, what does happiness look like? Well, I want to be confident. Okay, confident in what areas? There's a difference in being confident as a public speaker versus confident in really short shorts. Or confident on a date in the bedroom, confident in the boardroom, confident. It's just completely different. We've got to get clear about what we want and then make sure we are reverse engineering our processes. I have people talk about wanting to be toxic person proof. And I'll say, what are you doing to become toxic person proof? Well, I'm hiking and I'm exercising. Awesome. Can you send me some research that says, exercise makes you toxic person proof? Our personal trainers, is that a part of a population that never deal with toxic people? And they kind of laugh and they giggle and they say, well, no. And I say, exercise is awesome. I went to exercise today. I haven't hiked in a while. My son's actually going hiking today, and it's good for him. It's good for him to be around people and in nature and being present with himself and out exercising. These are wonderful things. But if I tell you, hey, I really want to make sure my son never ends up in a toxic situation or gets taken advantage of by a toxic person, so I'm going to sign him up for a hiking club. Do you kind of go, what? What did you just say? That doesn't make any sense. And I want to say you're correct, it does not make any sense. Or if I say, I really want to improve my interview skills so that I feel like I'm at this job and it's a toxic workplace environment. I want to increase my brand. I want to make sure I come across as confident and strategic and get what I want. And I say, awesome. So you want to improve your interview skills? Is that what I'm understanding? And you're like, yeah. And I said, what are you doing? And they say, well, I'm taking long baths and journaling. What? You're doing what? Did I take a bath yesterday? Yes. Did I journal yesterday? No. But these are not bad things. But they are not connecting the dots to get you where you want to go. And if you want the life you want, if you want to protect your kids, if you want to have a great love relationship, if you want to have a great income, if you want to have a great business, you've got to connect the dots. I have a phrase, get past the past, real about the present, and serious about the future. And that is all about connecting the dots. I see a lot of people focused on processing their past. And you know what? I can talk about my childhood. I could talk about being mad at my mother. I'm not mad at my mother, but I could talk about being mad at my mother or what happened to me for the next 20 years. 20 years of childhood, 20 years of processing. Would that help me interview better? Would it help me have a healthy relationship with my husband? Would, if I tell my kids, I say, I really love you kids. I want to lead you by example. So what I'm doing to lead you by example is going and talking about how bad my own childhood was. Do you see? Do you see how that doesn't make sense? Now, of course, we want to reflect back a bit. Of course, we do. But we don't want to get stuck. We don't want to get stuck in processing because the real magic is in connecting the dots to progressing, knowing what you want, making sure your healing strategy, where you're spending your time, where you're spending your money, where you're spending your energy, is connecting the dots to the life you want. And that there's a 100% success rate. 100% success rate. I cannot come up with that success rate on the healing goals not aligning with what you want, or processing the past, or getting stuck in processing, or studying narcissism rather than progressing. I can't align those. I know a lot of people who have studied narcissists who still end up in a toxic relationship or who are still currently in one. You won't believe the people in domestic abuse hotlines, people who said, "Oh, I was volunteering to help victims of domestic violence. And then I realized I was in a toxic relationship." Okay. We need what we want to connect the dots with our strategy. That is the only way to become successful. That is the only way to get the life you want. We can spend a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of energy on things that don't connect, or we can get clear about what we want and connect those dots to get there. Have a great day.